Hello everyone, this is Akhier, and yeah, I am starting another Let's Play. And this one though, I won't promise, but I'm not going to finish it. Yeah, I'm mostly just playing this because why am I playing it again? It's vaguely complicated, mostly with hints of, oh, that's always looked interesting, but I've never really gotten into it, and all kinds of stuff like that, and finding it somewhere cheap. I can't remember exactly how I got it. It was only a little bit ago, but my god, it was like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, there's a reason. There's a reason for this. The reason is Age of Wonders 3 will be coming out at some point in the future. I don't know when specifically, though apparently Notch is funding it or something. Yeah, well, Notch is giving money to the developers to finish up developing it, and they've apparently been working on it for a while, and like I think I said, it's always looked interesting, so I figured, good enough reason. So yeah. I probably wouldn't be doing this, but I couldn't find a good video tutorial on how to play. So yeah. I'm going to be doing a video tutorial because it's like I've seen a few videos of it, but it's mostly been less than satisfactory, shall we say. Generally because the people that are doing this kind of thing already know how to play, and I've never played a game like this before, I think. It's a different kind of thing. Oh, and I'm using the user-made patch version 1.4. Yeah. Basically, the people that made Age of Wonder are like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's even on their own site, like, hey, yeah, this is a pretty nice thing they did. So I figure that's legit enough. You could always just start over there, but since I don't have a clue what I'm doing, I'm actually gonna start on the tutorial.
Fairy Hill.
Also, it looks like there's a lot of stories, so I can probably, if there aren't voices done, I can probably do them. Which I always find amusing. Simon. He's a redhead. I don't have a redhead voice, I don't think. Ah well, this isn't in his voice, probably. The peaceful lands around this hill are untouched by the events in the nearby Valley of Wonders. Guarded by fairies, this mystical hill is an ancient burial mound of the halfling king, Smith and Proudfriend.
Simon, Julia has told me about you. I am Merlin. The apparition before you is named Terran, a gifted, elusive spirit. Thanks to Terran's talent, although I am suspended in shadow, my mind can escape this torturous prison. Like you, Simon, I have the gift of magic, and it has earned me many foes. As an outcast, you must feel great anger and fear, but forgive me if I do not coddle you. Phobius drives all people to madness. They allow their souls to weaken and decay, but you cannot afford the same mistake, no matter how justifiable. See the light in the people who fear you. Learn compassion as Julia has shown to you. She believes you have more than magic within you. If you heed my words, you shall learn great power, but without the guidance of your soul, you will forever be an outcast. This whole war is about the strength of souls.
Huh. So I have something in me besides magic? Is it blood? Am I using blood magic? Yeah, probably not. Is this supposed to be a guy? I think it's a guy, but it looks like it's a girl with her hair pulled back. I don't know why. Also, weird Simon spelling. Welcome to the first of 3 tutorial scenarios, fledgling wizard. This tutorial will show you how the interface works and explain basic concepts like claiming structures, making friends, and battling foes. You'll be ready to save the world and smite your enemies in no time. Let's begin by explaining the basics of the interface. Flashing arrows pointing at the event window. This is where important happenings in the world are displayed. Even the most forgetful old wizard can keep track of their empire by paying attention to the list of events. We'll look at some specific events and how they work later in the tutorial. Below the event window is information about your empire's resources, one of which is gold. It appears I have 250 plus 0 turn. Gold is used to recruit and keep armies, improve cities, or to barter with your fellow wizards. The first number to the gold image represents how much gold you have now, like I said, 250. While the second number indicates how much gold you will gain or lose at the end of the turn, like I figured out because it seems obvious. Even the most mighty of wizards fear being in debt, and the angry mobs is usually caused. So yeah, apparently being in debt means people are angry at you. The blue crystal to the right of your gold represents another resource, your mana. Mana is the fuel for all your magic, from casting and maintaining spells to researching new ones. The first number next to the mana image represents how much mana you have now, while the second number indicates how much mana you will gain or lose at the end of the turn. There is nothing more sad than a once potent wizard who neglects his mana has to watch his magic fizzle. The sparkle of light to the right of your mana represents your casting points, or the amount of mana you can use for casting new spells each turn. Stronger wizards have more casting points and can cast spells more quickly and more often, as long as they also have enough mana. The first number next to the icon represents how much mana you can still use for casting spells this turn, while the second number indicates how much mana you could use at the beginning of the turn. Casting points are not spent each turn or are lost, so clever wizards have learned to plan their days to leave them completely spent. Okay, cool. This is the scanner, this thing down here, which serves as an overview of the landscape. It's the mini-map. Only areas you have explored are visible, and areas you cannot currently see will be shaded or fogged over, thus fog of war. Groups of units, structures, and cities are all represented by icons in the color of their owner, or gray if they're not owned by any wizard yet. Scouts have spotted some goblin invaders nearby. The world map has moved to focus on them, as shown by the outline area on the scanner. You can click on areas of interest within the scanner to view them on the world map. Ergo. Okay, apparently it's not letting me. Ergo, I can't do it because it's in the middle of the tutorial. Oh. We'd now like to move the map back to focus on your wizard. This can easily be accomplished by using the center button located near your wizard's portrait. Click the center button to continue. Hey, look, there I am. We could continue discussing the interface, but the screams of the halflings that need your help would probably make it hard to concentrate. Instead, we'll head to their village, which brings us to the next topic. The topic of movement. The first step to moving your groups of units, or parties, as every RPG ever has called them, thank you very much, is to select the one you wish to move. In this case, that would be Simon, your wizard, the red-headed youngster with the backpack. When you select a party, the party window appears at the bottom of the screen. This window shows information and options related to the units within the group. Discussing this window when the group is just a party of one would make little Simon lonely. So let's divert his attention with that pile of gold nearby. You can select the destination to move by clicking on it on the map. With the gold selected as Simon's destination, a movement path appears, showing you the shortest route between your party and their goal. If they cannot reach their goal, no path will appear. Okay, simple enough. When movement path is visible, clicking on the destination again will make the party start moving. Simon is getting anxious to grab those riches, so let's get him moving. Ooh, gold. In the party window, the number under each unit indicates their remaining movement points for this turn. Moving to grab that gold reduces Simon's movement points. The rougher the terrain he moves over, the more movement points it costs. While a unit doesn't have enough movement points to continue moving, they must wait until the next turn to resume their journey. When one of your party moves onto a pile of gold, it becomes yours and is placed into your treasury. Finders keepers. Loser weepers. Simon still has enough energy and movement points to go further this turn, and he's eyeing some shiny mana crystals to the north. Click on them twice to have him pick them up. Just like the pile of gold, moving on to the mana crystals picks them up and adds them to your total. More goodies for you. To the north of Simon, you can now see a structure called a watchtower. Many structures like this one can be claimed or flagged by wizards by moving any of their party onto them. Take a look at Simon's movement path. Where the dots turn from gold to gray represents where Simon will run out of movement points for this turn. Once he moves to that point, you will have to wait until the next turn before he can move further. Simon really wants to check out the view from that watchtower, so go ahead. Click on it again to make him move close as he can. Simon can move no further this day. His little legs are exhausted, and that one movement point he has left is not enough to move any closer. When you've done all you can in a given turn, it becomes time to end the day and begin the next. The End Turn button in the lower right corner accomplishes this. Since Simon is so tired, let's put him to sleep for the rest of the night. Sorry. I don't really dislike this character yet. A new day dawns. When a new turn begins, all your units regain their movement points and can resume their journey. Many other things can also occur, though. This will all be summarized in the event window in the Day Dawns event, which will be displayed in the center window now. No gold, some mana. Cool. Once selected, events will display additional information. This Day Dawns event will tell you details about the state of your empire. When you're done looking at it, the additional information can be closed by clicking the Done button. Unlike pickup objects such as gold and mana, moving onto the structure that has a flag claims it for your empire. It will then fly your flag on the world map to turn to your color within the scanner. The structure Simon is heading to, a watchtower, allows you to view a large area around it, even if none of your units are occupying it. It is an excellent way to quickly explore an area and keep an eye on it afterwards. With Simon feeling energetic from his sleep, and with his fresh set of movement points, let's finish moving him to the watchtower. Now that watchtower has expanded your horizons, another structure called a watermill can be seen across a bridge to the west. Watermills generate income for their owner each turn in the form of gold, so it's always a good idea to claim them when you can. Let's have Simon grab one now. You've claimed the watermill as your own. As long as you own it, it will contribute gold income, as shown by the gold indicator at the lower left of the screen. It's providing 20 gold! Yay! Simon's tired again, that little slacker. We should end the turn and let him regain his movement points. While structures like the windmill generate gold, other structures called nodes generate mana. To the north across the bridge is one such node currently unclaimed, but not for long. Move Simon onto it to make it your own. The node is now yours. As long as you own it, it will contribute mana income. And as shown by the mana income indicator at the lower left of the screen. Simon is out of movement peaks and needs some rest. We could use magic to make him walk all day and night, but that would make him cranky. So let's end the turn instead. Wait, I can make him continue? Why wouldn't I? I don't really care. Whatever. To the northwest lies a halfling village. The halflings are friendly toward us. Could probably use a hand against those invading goblins. So let's introduce ourselves. When you select Simon and move the cursor over the troops guarding the village, the cursor changes indicating that are willing to talk. Friendly units will commonly offer or ask for help, while unfriendly units are more likely to attack you on sight. Since these halflings wish to speak with you, let's go see what they have to say. Simon must be quite the charming young lad, for after only a brief conversation, this town and its garrison are ready to follow your cause for free. They offer even a dwarf. That's an offer even a dwarf would find generous. You'll want to accept now before they change their mind. Are they going to have a reason to want to change their mind? Can I click the attack button anyway? Now you've got a group of units from the halfling town to use as you wish. Up to 8 units can occupy a single location, forming a party which is represented on the map by its strongest member. The shield above their head indicates who owns them, and how many units are in the party. To see what units compose this new group of yours, simply select them. You can now see the 7 units that make up this party. Holding the mouse over their image will display their name at the bottom of the screen, and selecting units in the party window displays additional information about them. But for now, let's get this party moving. The button below each unit's picture can be used to toggle whether the unit will move when the group does. If a unit's button is pressed in, it will stay behind when you move the group. Right-clicking on the button reverses the setting for the entire party. For now, let's set the halfling slinger to stay behind and guard the town for us. Good, the slinger will stay behind when this group moves. Now set the other slinger to stay behind as well. The rest of the group is now ready to move out and confront the goblins. While the slingers will stay behind and protect the village, move the party southwest down the road to the signpost. Travelers beware, goblins have taken the west side of the river. City Council of Arrowroot. As your empire grows, you'll often have many groups of units moving all over the world. To easily cycle through them, you can use the Next Party button at the lower right, which selects the next active group and moves the map to their location. Go ahead and click on it. Now the slingers have been selected. When there is a group of units you don't want to check on each turn, such as a group that are guarding locations, you can use the guard button on the party window to remove them from the list of active parties. Groups that are set to guard are skipped by the Next Party button. Let's set the slingers to guard this town. Now that we have a city, we should get Simon within its walls. Wizards are much more powerful and safe when they are within a strong city. A wizard's magic is strong enough to reach faraway lands, so risking themselves on the front line is usually a very bad idea. The next unit button will select Simon, and then you should get him into the city. Yay! Moving into the city selects it as if you clicked on it, which opens the city interface. The city interface allows you to set up production of city upgrades and the training of new troops. Cities are also sources of gold and mana income. Oh, it is up some. Cool. So this one's a source of 9 gold and 5 mana, which I guess it probably says somewhere. This area shows you the city's name, size, population, and growth rate. A city's size can range from small outposts to fully grown cities. A city's size determines how much gold it produces, as well as how quickly it can build things for you. Production points represent how much work the city can do each turn. The more a city has, the quicker it can build new upgrades and train new troops. A city's gold income is added to your treasury each turn. Huh, interesting. I guess I'm getting that gold from somewhere else or something? No, it seems right. A city's mana income is also added to your supply at the start of each new turn. A city's population determines its size. A well-managed city will grow larger and more productive as time goes on. This area lists the upgrades that have already been built at the city, as well as giving additional information on them. If you ever decide a city doesn't need one of its upgrades, or that you need more cash, the sell button can be used to tear down the upgrade and get back some money. Where the hell that works. To view more information about this city, you'll want to check the other pages in this window. This page shows the additional bonuses and penalties the city will receive and where they come from. It can be very useful to help figure out why one city is a bustling metropolis and another is a beggar's colony. Besides the fact that I shipped all the beggars over there to make the bustling metropolis happy. But that's totally beside the point, not part of this game. The window on the left side of the screen has lists of the things the city can currently build. To get additional information on what can be built, you can click on an item in the list. Select the first item in the list now. You can make peasants. Or, it wants me to click on that. You're lying, game. It's not the first item. Peasants are the first item. In this case, the item is a unit, so the right side of the window changes to show the unit's statistics and abilities. We'll discuss them in more detail shortly. Simon wouldn't mind having another slinger to guard him, so let's go ahead and tell this town to train one by pressing the produce button. Ordering the town to build a new unit places it into the list, or queue, of items the town is currently producing. As much as Simon wants that slinger right now, everything takes at least one turn to build, and often more. The items will be built in order from left to right, because that's how Americans read. We've told the city to train a new unit, so now let's look at the upgrades the town can build by selecting its tab from the left window. Here you see the list of upgrades. Let's take a closer look at the city walls. The right window has now changed to show you more detail about city walls. City walls help protect your city from invaders. This seems like a good thing, so let's add them to the city's queue for building by pressing the build button. You can see the walls have been added to the list, and will now be built as soon as the slinger is completed. If you ever want to remove an item from the city's production queue, just select it and press cancel, and poof, it's gone. If there's ever a time when you absolutely must have something a city is producing on the very next turn, you can use the hurry button to rush production. Be warned though, hurrying production costs the city both gold and population to accomplish, so use it wisely. Simon is no rush for that slinger, so we'll move on. That should give you a good idea of how cities works. Now we need to turn our attentions elsewhere, as it appears those pesky goblins are making trouble. A party of goblins has crossed the river and is threatening the halfling village. Select the group of units we left at the signpost and move them onto the goblin to intercept them. Before a battle begins, you're given some options on how to proceed. Quick Battle simulates the combat for you instantly and provides a summary which you can watch afterwards. Retreat allows the attackers to rethink their decision and back off. Manual Battle lets you fight the battle yourself. It's about time we got our hands dirty, so go ahead, select Manual. This is the tactical combat map, where your battles will take place. The defenders get to move first, so those goblins will begin the fight. When the goblins are done moving, press OK. This window gives basic information about the combat, as well as letting you give control over to the computer at any time, or surrender if things become hopeless. Now select a halfling peasant, and let's get to the fight. This window provides detailed information on the selected unit. The item indicated by the sword icon is the unit's attack value. The higher this value is, the more likely the unit will hit its target with direct or melee attacks. I guess there's a difference. The star icons indicates the unit's damage value. This is the maximum damage the unit can inflict with a successful melee attack, also implying that it's not what they always deal. Alright, cool. The shield icon represents the defense value of the unit. The higher the value, the less likely an attacker is to hit the unit with physical attacks, like a sword or an arrow. The holy symbol represents the unit's resistance value. The higher the value, the less likely an attacker is to hit the unit with magical or elemental attacks, like a bolt of lightning. Zap! The hearts represent hit points, or the amount of damage the unit can take before it dies. The boots represent movement points, just like on the world map. When they run out, the unit is done moving until the next combat round. Besides moving, in combat, units can attack or use abilities with their movement points. You can order any unit with strike ability to directly attack an enemy by moving them to the enemy's location. Let's prepare our peasant to attack that nasty looking beetle. The move path now has colored dots, which represent the number of strikes the unit will be able to make if they move that far. Green means the maximum of 3 strikes, while yellow means 2, and red means only 1 strike. Beetle's in a red dot, so the peasant will get 1 strike if he attacks. Maybe I shouldn't have closed that window. Oh, there we go. You've selected a Pony Rider. Pony Riders have strike, so they attack the enemy directly. They also have more movement points than your other units, so will often get more strikes when reaching their target. Now, if only you could hit. You've selected a Swordsman. Since Swordsmen have the strike ability, they can directly attack their enemy. Units with strike can also counterattack when struck by an enemy, but those counterattacks also cost movement points, so they are limited. Gang up on an enemy to wear them out, reducing their ability to defend themselves. Another feature of units that have strike is that they get a free swing at any enemy that moves by or away from them. These swings don't cost any movement points and can't be retaliated against, so be careful when you're trying to move away from an enemy. You've selected a High Priest. Take his mushroom away. This unit has many possible actions it can take in combat. It can attack directly with strike, or use one of the other abilities. Holy Bolts is a ranged attack, much like archery, which shoots bolts of holy energy at an enemy to inflict damage. Some enemies may be easier or harder to harm with different types of damage. Look for weaknesses, protections, and immunities in their ability list, as well as checking their defense and resistance ratings for clues on how to best attack them. The High Priest also has Healing and Turn Undead, which are touch abilities. Once selected, you can use them by moving directly onto the target, just like with direct attacks. Touch abilities have only one attack, so it can be used no matter how many movement points the unit has left. Healing can restore lost hit points to one of your wounded units, but it can only be used once a day. Turn Undead is useful to wreak havoc in undead enemies. Too bad these goblins are still living. You selected a centaur. Centaurs do not have the strike ability, so they cannot directly attack their enemies. Instead, the centaurs have archery, which can be selected in its list of abilities in the center of the window. Any ability that can be used in combat will be highlighted. Go ahead, select Centaur's archery ability now. Once selected, a ranged attack like archery requires a target. The map has updated to show the maximum range of the attack, with darkened areas being too far away. Once a target is selected, you will see a path of colored dots showing the line of fire for the attack. If the dots at the target are green, the chance of hitting are high. Obstacles are shown as large red circles and can block your shot. Also note that the number of shots the unit will get depend on how much they've already moved, just like direct attacks. Information on abilities and the targets are shown in the window at the bottom. When you're done moving your units, it's time to end your turn, just like on the world map. Once you do, the enemies will take their turn at attacking you. The attackers always have the option to break and run if they so choose, and can make it alive to the flee arrows that are placed near the edge of the map. Okay. He's throwing a rock at me. Huh. So it looks like it's gotten to the part where it's letting me actually do the combat. Can't quite reach. Oh. Well, that was a waste of a heal, I guess. Let's move him closer. Not quite that. Yeah. Can you... Should have moved him closer. But good to know that the one thing works. Huh. Note to self. That guy's hardcore. I wonder if I'll actually survive this. It'd be slightly embarrassing since it seems to be the beginner thing. I can't do that. Oh well. There we go. You won? I owe Simon 20 gold pieces. I mean, I knew you had it in you. Good show. Yeah, that was really bad for me. The combat is over, so here we are back at the world map. With those measly goblins dispatched, there's nothing left to do for today. Go ahead and end your turn. The new day event has appeared, but this time there's another event waiting for us. Let's press the next button and check it out. Actually, let's not, because this is about 40 minutes and I figure that's a good amount of time to end this video. So yeah, next video I'll continue with this tutorial. So yeah, this is Akhier and I'm signing out.